It's been a record-breaking 2017 for ETFs. President Trump's promises of tax cuts and infrastructure spending helping to give ETFs a boost. But is the Trump trade over? Well, Emily Cheetham from iShares BlackRock is with us now. Thanks very much for coming in. Because it's been such an amazing year in terms of flows already, a lot of people are questioning whether this can be sustained.
Yeah, a lot of clients have been moving money into ETFs, and actually specifically equity ETFs. So it's been a very strong start to the year, about 170 billion into ETFs. 18 out of the 19 weeks so far this year, we've seen equities taking money in over fixed income. So risk has definitely been on, although I think people are starting to get a bit more wary about whether or not this is going to last.
We'll get to the last in a minute. You mentioned the equities there. Is there specific equities people are looking at?
There have been some trends that have come through. We've seen in the beginning of the year a very strong start into US equities, and actually just last few weeks and last few trading sessions, we've seen European equities coming back into play. And when I say European equities, I really mean large caps. So a lot of money going into Euro stocks, a lot of money going into MSCI Europe ex-UK. So clients still choosing to allocate away from the UK with the Brexit concerns obviously coming front of mind again.
Let's talk about the sustainability of what we've seen here then. I mean, a lot of it was Trump focused, but there have been so many other things happening out there as well in regards to central banks, with regards to Brexit. How long do you think that this can go on?
There are a few different things at play. The Trump trade potentially has lost some of the ground that it had early on, and we've seen in U.S. equities specifically a rotation a little bit out of financials, which were certainly a hot topic after the election, and into more of the defensive sectors, so industrials and materials as well. In Europe, there are a few different things going on. Yes, Brexit is on the horizon, and although there are many knowns about what's going to happen with Brexit, there are some unknowns in Europe as well, with the elections coming up in France. The Dutch election is now out of the way, although the markets have been rallying so dramatically that clients can't afford to not be allocated to them at the moment.
But with all that going on, what is asset allocation looking like at the moment?
Most clients we're hearing are neutral as far as European equities go. They're overweight US equities, and actually emerging market equities, which have been underweight for the last few years, are really starting to become back in focus. So clients have been moving their underweights to neutral in emerging markets, and some clients even actually going overweight emerging markets.
And when we say emerging markets, in particular areas?
Absolutely. So we've seen mostly allocations into broad EM. So it's quite interesting. If you look at EM as a whole, the numbers aren't overly impressive. And that's because the inflows into broad EM have actually been somewhat muted by the outflows out of some of the regional products. So EM Asia and EM Latin America have seen outflows, while broad EM has seen inflows. That's just on the equity side. And actually emerging market debt has been a really hot topic as far as fixed income goes as well. So people are really just allocating all over that region at the moment.
And is their outlook, is it a 3 to 6 months at the moment? What are people kind of looking at the moment?
It's difficult to know. When clients go into ETFs, we aren't always aware of their holding period. But I think that it's fair to say with these small dips that we've seen in the market, and I think yesterday broke the 109-day streak of the markets moving less than 1%. So markets haven't been as volatile as people would expect given the geopolitical backdrop. However, people are still allocating to the space.
And so what do you see then for the next month?
We are certainly seeing Europe becoming more and more interesting. We're liking European equities at the moment. We like gold as well as a diversifier, and we see clients moving money into gold as well.
We always talk about diversifying a portfolio. At the moment, considering the environment we're in, the market environment, the economic environment we're in, is that still something we should be looking at?
Diversification is always important. The question is, where can you find these pockets of return, and how can you allocate to them as quickly as possible? And ETFs obviously lend themselves well to that space. So we are seeing clients be very, very tactical. And you asked about short-term views. I think clients are thinking right now in a 3 to 6 month window, and then they'll deal with some of the other policies that will come in later on in the year. There are just too many unknowns to have a 12-month outlook at the moment.
Okay, thanks. Emily Cheetham there for iShares in BlackRock on where the money is flowing when it comes to ETFs. And BlackRock really picking out European equities as one to watch.